my family.
Letting go, accepting this stillness, finding peace and acceptance of my lack of control.
Losing a feeling of freedom, losing a feeling of connection with the world.
Not being able to be in touch personally with my friends and give them a hug, that human touch.
At the beginning, dealing with my company, the employees, and making sure that they were safe and that I could maintain their jobs, while also being able to try and find a space for myself to also breathe and realize that everything would be okay.
Not being able to physically hug my friends and family, it feels very awkward and unnatural to me to not hug the people that I love.
Being out of routine has been a challenge, and it's also been hard to keep the kids busy and entertained day after day without being able to go anywhere. A huge hurdle has been not being able to see my parents.
Balancing 3 little girls, finances, the constant need to clean, cook, and breathe deeply, while simultaneously regularly checking up on all my friends and family and coping with the reality that it's so many people are struggling and that there's not much I can do about any of it.
That I cannot go in parks or anywhere outside just to hang, just to sit down.
Well, it's funny because I really don't find this hard at all. If you think about the challenges, the one is to really be careful with going to the stores. I actually belong to the risk group due to my heart condition.
This feeling of paralyzation and the fact that everything feels so tense. Everyone seems so stressed out. And then when I see older people with their gloves and their masks on, it just breaks my heart to think that they might be afraid.
Doing my daily yoga practice, meditating, sleeping in, lots of time for self-care, being with my dog, long beautiful walks, more time to make fun meals, and FaceTime.
I'm so grateful that I've been given this time and this simplistic life, and that my sole focus can just be on my family.
Sometimes we forgot that our lives are very beautiful. I'm now aware of healthy relationship and love I share with my partner.
That I have my job and I'm able to work from home and continue having that source of income.
The ability to create more, the time that has been allotted to us to be able to go within and weed out the roots of any kind of fear-based beliefs, thinking, thoughts, what have you within us.
I'm really grateful for all of the people who have been reaching out, who care about me and my well-being, having the people you love around you, even if they're not physically next to you, but just connecting with them.
Being able to go to the park, dining in a restaurant, getting together with friends, going to get your hair done, all these things are things that become part of your everyday life. And once you're not able to do them, you start to think about how much you should appreciate all the little things.
I am so grateful for my husband's stable job. I'm also grateful for the relationship I have with my husband and my kids, and ensuring that our kids don't feel the negative impact of this crisis. Our friendship, our partnership, and the love that we've been able to fill this house with every day, no matter what is happening outside.
That I can still go outside. I'm free to go whenever out from my door and outside to walk wherever I want, almost wherever I want.
It seems that our society and politicians can act in agreement under this kind of threat. I really feel that our government has done a good job.
These events have really made me stop and appreciate the fundamentals of life. I'm healthy, my family is healthy, we have food, shelter. I don't typically think about these basic things when I'm expressing gratitude, but I feel grateful daily about these things now.
The first thing I would do if everything went back to normal would definitely be go hug all my family and friends. I would go out for a nice meal, and I would book a flight to go on a vacation.
See my nephew and my sister. I can't wait to hug my nephew. And really just make plans and have that connection, that time of like getting together with other people, with friends and family, that we haven't been able to actually sit down at a table with them and chat.
Spending time with my friends over a beer in some sort of cafes or pub, talking about ideas with my friends, that's what makes me happy.
Go pick up my son, give him a very long, big hug, tell him that I love him a lot with all my heart, and then book a trip to Mexico, go and pick up my family and go and travel around the world.
To go visit my mom, give her a very, very big hug and kiss, and see my nephews and nieces and also do the same, just that love of the family.
Get my mom and sisters together, go to a restaurant, make everyone drink wine and stay out late and have lots of laughs, and really just kind of soak in the gratitude to spend time all together again in public.
For sure, I would have my parents over to see the kids and probably have them babysit so I could have a bit of a break.
I would take my kids to Disneyland. Disneyland for sure.
Go to my university or for beer with my friends.
I would play badminton. I really miss that.
I would get together with my whole family and give them all a gigantic hug.
I have learned to slow down. I've taken more time to embrace moments like just watching the birds fly by or slowly sipping a cup of coffee. And I've definitely learned to be more gentle on myself and that it's okay to do nothing.
This time is really teaching me, this is the ultimate test in surrender. And this is really teaching me that when you think you have surrendered, you can surrender more. So every day, letting go and truly trusting that all is well, and trusting this time is exactly what we needed.
I reminded myself that fears I tend to create are really unnecessary, and they can easily be replaced with brighter thoughts.
I was able to connect more deep with my inner me, with my inner wisdom, with my essence. There's always a way to share my love, share my light to people.
To realize that there's always more love and there's always more light that we can provide to ourselves, to others, and to any situation or circumstance. There's always more to give, more to find, more to discover about ourselves.
It's really just a confirmation that I am an extrovert, that I need socialization to thrive. I need to leave the house. I need to be around other people to kind of fill up my tank.
I learned how little you actually need in life. As long as your family is healthy and safe, all the other stuff doesn't matter.
I've learned that I'm very blessed, that I have a partner that lifts me up so much. No matter what problems we face, I feel confident enough that we can get through it as a team. I'm working towards a dream of a life that I already have with my amazing little family. I've been able to settle into the here and now a little bit more often, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
The biggest lesson I have learned about myself is that I have many different kind of days, and in bigger picture it doesn't matter what kind of day one single day is.
You always have to adapt. I feel that I really can adjust my thinking or accept the circumstances as they are and act accordingly.
This whole experience has really made me think about how I treat and appreciate people in my life. All of this has made me look at death a little more closely. I want to make sure that the people I love know fully and completely how much I care about them. I don't want to take anyone for granted.
losing someone I love due to the virus.
There's the obvious fear of well-being, and of course I am afraid of those people near and dear to me that have compromised health issues. I'm afraid for their safety. I'm also very fearful of navigating this appropriately for my kids.
These days, I'm most afraid that people won't learn to live their lives differently, that they won't get anything from this situation, and it's clear that it's full of messages for every one of us. I'm really afraid that people won't take that seriously, those messages.
I'm not scared or afraid of this moment. Remember that all this is temporary, and the most important thing is to live in the present moment, and that everything in life is temporary.
My company, my employees, and the people I feel responsible towards work-wise. So I was a little bit afraid for them and not being able to continue to employ them and not be able for them to pay their houses and what would happen to their well-being. But I don't fear that anymore. I know that everything happens for a reason. So that's one of the things, you got to tell yourself everything's going to work out fine. And the more we focus our light and our love into all aspects of ourselves, the more we change the reality and make it a beautiful one, so that we don't have to go down a dark path.
Having to be socially distant for a long time. At first, it felt impossible to do this for a few weeks. Now it's looking like it's going to be a few months. I'm pumping myself up to do it, but I don't think I could cope very well with this for a really long time. I'm just afraid that it's going to end up being a long time, or we're going to have to do it again later. Yeah.
Not knowing when it will all come to an end, it feels perpetual, not knowing when life will get back to normal.
Losing loved ones or having to hear about their suffering. So many people's lives are upside down at the moment, and it hurts to just even hear about it.
That I will be stuck in a place during the summer that is too hot for me, that I'm not used to be.
I wouldn't say I'm afraid, but the closest of being afraid is the fact that I belong to a risk group. Admittedly, it does affect my behavior a bit.
My biggest fears right now are the possibility of someone I love getting the disease and it taking them away.
Don't worry, everything's gonna be okay. Everyone you love is taking good care of themselves, and they're gonna stay healthy, and we're gonna get through this.
You need to trust that your energy is enough, and trust that your presence is enough. So by just me focusing on my own energy that I show up with for them every day, trusting that that is enough.
I think we can only hope that this would restart the world and make it a better place.
Remember that all this is temporary, and the most important thing is to live in the present moment.
We are all in this together, and every problem, not only does it have one solution, but it has a multitude of solutions. We only need to focus on solutions, and solutions will come to us, because we are powerful beings, ever-knowing, limitless, boundless. We are part of all there is. So we can do this. There's no reason to feel fear. Let's focus our attention onto love and make this world the world we want to live in.
We can connect with the people that we love, even when we're not physically close to them. It takes maybe a little bit more effort, and you need to be a little bit more creative with how you do it, but that connection still exists. It's an opportunity really to connect with people in a more intentional way, and that might actually be more meaningful than being physically close to somebody.
Just take it one day at a time. And if you start worrying about the days and weeks to come, it can get overwhelming. But if you focus on each day and plan a few things each day to pass the time, it seems a lot more manageable.
I have had to remind myself and others that this is not forever. Though it's a strange time and the uncertainty of everything can be terrifying, we can choose to look at things differently. Things are always uncertain. That's life. It's just that now it all seems so magnified because the whole world is feeling that way. But if I really think about it, anything can change at any given time, always. What we need to do is keep the hope alive. We choose at the end of the day how to respond to these issues, how to feel about the circumstances we are in, and how to make ourselves feel better about it. That's the only thing we really have control over. I am regularly, constantly, consistently choosing not to harp on all the problems and just acknowledging that they are there and then looking for ways to make it better. It's what I tell my kids. It's what I remind myself all the time. If you see a problem, don't make it worse. Find a way to make things better. Things will get better.
Be careful and avoid all the unnecessary contacts. Ask for help from the near and dear ones. This will also pass. It's just a matter of waiting this out.
There is no fear in love. Love is who we are. It's what we're made of. So if we're living in fear, we're just forgetting our truth, our nature. I would guide them back to the knowing that we are always safe. And I would remind them that the part of us that is afraid is not who we truly are. I would guide them to remember that we can take the seat of the observer and watch the events unfolding in our life without identifying with them. And I would let them know that all is well.